and everything in between. The Brad Weisman Show. And now, your host, Brad Weisman.
All right. Yeah, we're going to have a fun one today. I can tell already it's going to be a good time. Whenever Pete's in the studio, we always have a really good time. But I want to bring up first, we have our big 200th episode party coming up. It's going to be a live show here in the studio. Pete, I think you're going to be showing up for that.
Oh, yeah, that was September
19th. It's going to be at 7 o'clock.
Yep.
Hugo's going to be here. We're going to have a bunch of people. Kevin Timoshenko's coming. Stephanie Taramina. Still trying to get Chad Henney here. I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully we can get him here. But yeah, September 19th, 7 p.m. It's going to be live, and we're going to have a bunch of people here. We're going to be actually having drinks for once on camera. So there'll be some wine here, some drinks. We're going to have some food. We're just going to bring people in and out.
In the studio.
Yeah, absolutely in the studio. But we're going to have staging areas outside because it's only so big in here, you know. So, but yeah, we're really excited about that. So please tune in for that 7 p.m. live show. Right, Hugo?
Job cut out for him.
That's right. Yeah, he's going to have
to be a floating videographer or something.
Yep, exactly. So let's jump into the real estate market because that's what we love to talk about so much.
We do.
Yes, we do. So what do you see going on in this market?
You know, I'm so glad that people aren't hearing what we talk about before we start this.
Yes, this is true. This is true.
It's really the show before the show.
What you don't know,
in the green room.
It is recorded. We record all that green room. Yeah. He's got a green shirt on.
I know. He's got that green shirt on. Yeah. I couldn't help but think that.
Yeah, it's amazing.
But no, hey, listen, it's still robust.
Yeah.
Still a good market for selling.
Absolutely.
And the rates are starting to drop and all that. And there's less showings.
Yeah.
But I think that's typical over summer.
Absolutely.
People go on vacation.
People vacation.
Stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're getting back to seasonal, I think.
Yeah.
Which is kind of nice. We're getting back into the seasons of the real estate market, spring being the best and fall being the second best. We're kind of coming back to that.
Yeah, I agree with you. There's some things, I wanted we talked about this a little bit. I think only thing that I can say, and this is not doom and gloom, this is just being prepared.
Yeah.
We like to be prepared. We want to make sure that our clients are prepared.
Mm-hmm.
So for the longest time, we've been preparing our buyers for what to expect. Mm-hmm. Okay? I think we need to start shifting that a little bit and help our sellers understand or just think ahead of what to expect. It cannot stay a seller's market for eternity.
No. It's shifting very slowly.
Very slowly, which is good.
It's crawling.
Yes.
But it is shifting.
It's starting a little bit. So some of the things that I think that we would want to bring up is be careful with overpricing your house.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We're finding that people are starting to get into this thing of thinking, sellers are starting to think that it's always going to go up. Mm-hmm. It's always going to be, I'm always going to make more than my neighbor. I'm always going to make more than my neighbor's house. That's the way it's kind of what it is right now.
It's human nature.
And I think you have to understand that when you come into a little bit more of a balancing market, you might get what your neighbor got.
Right.
Okay. And we talked about the list price versus the actual sold price.
Yeah.
Big difference.
Getting back to that.
Yes.
Yeah.
What is the difference? How is that difference relevant?
You want to explain?
Yeah. So usually when we do a market analysis on a home, we look to see what they sold for. Mm-hmm. And over the last 3-4 years, they've been selling for way more. Like sometimes in some cases it's, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 more than list price. Could be 10% more, whatever. It's becoming unrealistic now. So if we go back to pricing homes where they're listed at now, okay, that's going to be more of a realistic number because what was it? What was the appreciate the last couple of most people are getting, was it 0.9%?
Yeah, something like
over
that.
their list.
Yeah,
over their
something
list
like that.
price.
It's like 0.9.
Well,
Which means
it's getting close to the list price.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So instead of 10 or 15% over list price. See what I mean?
Yep.
Okay, so if you look at the list prices, it's going to be more realistic of what your house should sell for.
Yeah.
That's why.
And it's just a good thing to look at. I think what happens a lot, like you said, when you're looking at prices, a lot of times the sellers are looking at, well, my neighbor just got $250, so I should list it for $265.
Right.
Mm-hmm. No, what you need to do is what did they have it listed at to get that $250, right?
Right.
So was it at $240? If they had it at $240 and that's how they got $250 and you want to get what they got or a little bit more, then you should go back to that $240.
Right, exactly.
Not to the $265 or up to where you want to go. So that's the part that we have to be, that you want to try and explain, or we try to explain to our sellers. And
absolutely.
And it's just to be aware of it. It's not always going to go up.
Right.
And when the market starts to do that little change, you always want to try to be ahead of it. Mm-hmm. You want to try to predict where it's going to go. And that's usually the better thing to do. We try to predict where it's going to go.
And that's based on that's why that we like doing this show, because we're in numbers and statistics and trends.
Yeah. And it changes.
And it's all on paper, and it's easy to predict then.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Some of the other stuff too, for the longest time, Pete, I don't know about you, but when I would walk through a seller's home, because we talk about price and condition. Those are the two things that really, location. Yeah, of course. That's always there. Can't change it. Can't move the house.
Right.
Two of the things we can change are the condition and the price, right?
Yep.
So there for a while, we were also a little bit more laxed on the condition. So we would go in and we would say, you know what? Mr. and Mrs. Seller, seriously, the bathroom, yes, it could use a coat of paint, but to be really honest, you're going to have 30 people come through. Nobody's going to care, and they're going to buy it anyway.
Yep.
So we have to start thinking about prepping the home maybe a little bit. So if you do want to get that over full price, you might have to work for it a little bit more.
Right.
Yep. Don't you think so?
Absolutely. Flooring, painting.
Yep.
Just freshen it up. Front door.
And it's funny, we used to do that.
We used to do it.
Remember?
Like,
and now you would go.
Okay, it's like, what did we used to do?
Yeah, exactly. How did we do this?
What did we do?
How did we do this? But don't you remember doing
that's
that?
right. Fresh flowers out front.
We'd have a list of things for them to do before we put in the market.
Right, yeah.
And now the sellers that have sold before would say to me, well, do you think we really think we should paint the kitchen? I'm like, no. You don't need to paint the kitchen.
Dude,
because
I haven't broken out that list.
That's what
I gotta find it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
There's dust all over that
all
thing.
over it, you know?
Yes, absolutely. So it's just one of those things.
Yeah.
I think you just need to start thinking about those things too.
Yep.
And then, is there anything else that you think that sellers should know?
I think we're talking about the interest rates.
Yeah.
It's the big third portion of affordability.
Yeah.
And so even though jobs are kind of high, I think they're holding their own, I guess, on increases. I don't think they've done much there. Prices of homes are going up. But once the interest rates really start going down, I'm sticking to my guns that I think it's going to go berserk. If this thing gets under 6, I don't know if it's going to, though.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's going to slip that far.
I don't think so.
It's going to be in the low 6s maybe. But
Yeah, I agree.
I don't see it going under 6.
Yeah, and really the what makes the market go crazy, I think, under 6 are the people that are waiting to list their house to move somewhere warm, to downsize. I think that's the thing that we always talk about, that's going to bring in a crazy amount of buyers that may be on the sideline. But what about the sellers that are on the sideline right now,
Right.
that have not sold their house because they don't want to go from 2.5% to 7.5%. You know what I mean? And pay more for a smaller house.
Steve, I was just talking to you about this today. Are you listening, dude? I mean, Steve, if you're watching, he's like, Dad, Pete, I don't want to give up my 2.9.
Yeah, exactly.
And then
who does?
Triple the cost of buying a house that might not be as nice as mine. I said, well, you're not a candidate to sell your house right now, dude. I mean, but people move when they have to move.
That's right.
That's
right.
But going back to the interest rate thing, though, Brad, it's going to be back to, don't worry about painting your living room, dude.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
If it gets under 6,
yeah, true.
We're back.
So for right now, you have to paint your living room. All right,
now, paint your living room. Yeah,
paint your living room. Do your landscaping. I heard you have a good connection with Newcastle for that.
Yeah.
So little free plug for Newcastle, huh? I'll tell you, boy, you better collect on that.
Yeah.
Hold them.
So no, I think there's a lot of things, and also we got to start looking at negotiating. If it gets to that point, if we don't get to that point, forget about everything we're saying.
Well, we have been.
Yeah.
I'm sure you have been too.
Absolutely.
But I'm seeing more of it.
Yeah.
Not, hey, 10 offers, pick one.
Yeah.
No, it's more like, hey, we got one.
Yeah. Or 2.
We might get 2.
Yeah.
And then, and then the owner says, if they can come to this and do this, then we're fine. I think that's called negotiation.
Yeah. And don't hold out for cash anymore either.
No.
Because we used to hold out for cash for a while.
No.
Yeah, there's not as much of that going on.
That's kind of, not as much.
Not as much. It's happening, but not as much.
Happened to me the other day. But it's getting rarer.
Yeah.
It's
exactly.
rare.
Rare. Like a steak.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
So what else do you have? There's 414 homes in the market today in Berks County.
Over 4, right?
Yeah.
Over 400.
And it's staying over 4.
It's been at over 4 for what now?
Couple weeks. It hasn't done that in a long time.
Yeah.
Hasn't done that in a long time.
Yeah, so that's a sign.
Yep.
Again, that's that slight change.
It's going up a little bit.
It's very slight.
We were in the 200s for a long time.
We were.
The high 200s for a long time, yeah. And now we're at 414, and I think it's going to creep up a little bit more, which is nice. It gives buyers choices. Too. That's the other thing. It's nice about that.
And longer days on the market too is another one.
Yeah.
Homes are staying on a little bit longer. I mean, it's a few days.
Yeah.
But it's not like it's months or anything, guys.
Absolutely. So, which was interesting? What do you think about the Fed rate? I mean,
I think it's one of the most unpredictable things you could ever do because it's become politicized.
Yeah.
I just think
so
it's
true.
I think it's
So true.
ridiculous.
Yeah,
to be honest. And we're in an election year.
Yep.
So I think that has something to do with it. A lot of these predictions are saying that they're going to come down a little bit yet.
Yep. And that's because of election year.
Because election year. Probably. I'm guessing it's because of that.
At least somebody said there's some kind of election going on. I don't know if anybody's heard anything about
staying
that.
out of it.
Yeah. We're not touching on this show.
That the Olympics, I am not touching this year.
So many things to say.
Oh, yeah.
But this was interesting. It says, when will the Federal Reserve cut the Fed funds rate? So there's probably about, let's say, 25 different people or companies on here predicting the future. A majority of them are saying September.
Yeah.
So,
well, it's something you got to remember about the Federal Reserve. It's not federal.
it's not federal? What is it?
It's a good name.
It's
It was
a really
great
good name.
No, it's
We've been
not.
using that for a while.
It's a private company.
Are your kitchen and bathroom remodels a little overdue? Well, now's your chance to call First Response Contracting. John Sellers will take care of you. 484-256-7136. They do residential and commercial, and they're licensed and insured. Give them a call at 484-256-7136. Right.
That used the word federal. So let's just remember that. It's the 10-year treasury we got to watch.
Yeah.
The 10-year treasury is what dictates
that's what has
going.
to do with our rates. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So Federal Reserve is not federal. Okay, it's not.
Yeah.
It's the banking.
It's spelled a lot like federal, though.
It's spelled the same.
Is the F silent? Is it Federal?
They got naming rights.
Oh, okay. That's good. That's good.
Like the Wells Fargo Center, which is no longer going to be the Wells Fargo. It's kind of the same thing.
Oh, my
But
gosh.
the Fed then, the federal people then are the ones, the second line that you have there is about the rates.
Yes.
Okay. So, and they're all saying what, Brad? What are they saying?
You mean this one here?
Yeah.
It just says that basically that they're all saying that in September they're going to cut that rate.
Right.
The Fed rate. So Fannie Mae, Freddie
Mostly
Mac,
since September.
MBA, Morgan Stanley. I mean, there's a couple outliers that are saying, one person said November. Loser.
Loser.
It was
Who was
JP
that?
Morgan.
Oh, well, JP Morgan.
Don't listen to them. And then Bank of America and Deutsche Bank and LH Meyer, all these other ones said December. There are 3 that said 2025.
Oh, that's really a cop
Yeah, isn't that something?
That's a cop
Hugo, what's your prediction for that? Rate cut. What do you think? Just give us something.
I don't know. I probably agree with Pete. Lower 6 sometime.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And
I
then
think September could be it. I mean,
it looks like
seems
September.
it could be.
Yeah, it looks like
because it's right before the election.
Yeah,
I'm
of
sorry,
course.
guys. I'm not talking.
we don't want to go politics,
I gotta
but
go November.
It doesn't matter what side of the aisle you're on. It's just an election year.
Yeah.
So, and things happen in election years. It's
Absolutely.
It's slight. It doesn't affect our market too drastically.
it was like 9. I just saw a number on Keeping Current Matters that the interest rate, the Fed rate, is lowered almost. It was 8 out of 12 elections. It's lowered during the election year. Yeah. And there was the
it
same
doesn't matter
thing
who's
for
in
House.
office.
It had
It
something to do
doesn't
with
matter.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's just the way it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. it's the
Same
way it
thing
is.
with what you say?
Same thing with houses. There was a number for homes, for home sales. Believe it or not, the home sales actually shrink before an election.
They go
and
way
then
up
go
the
back
month
way up
after.
afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the January after or
Yeah.
something. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think I saw that.
So
Yeah.
weird. So weird.
It is weird.
Got anything else?
Well, no, it just means that there's people manipulating things.
Oh, there's always people manipulating.
So you just got to remember that because it's hard to predict.
Yeah,
'Cause
absolutely.
we don't know what that is, what they're trying to manipulate, right?
Oh, absolutely.
So it's just hard to predict.
Yeah.
Yeah. You still buy and sell a house when you have to.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
All right. So you know how the mortgage companies, the loans get sold from one company to another company.
Yeah. Secondary.
Like when you're done paying your mortgage, who are you supposed to get the paper that says, okay, this mortgage is all paid, all cleared, so you can go to the deed house or whatever you go.
You're looking for a satisfaction note, is what it is. Like a sat piece is what they call it.
And make sure
Satisfaction
you get
piece.
it, actually.
Yeah. You always want to make sure you get it. And I'll tell you, it's interesting because there's been many times where it's a good question because
That's a
there's many
great
times where banks will go from bank to bank to bank. And there's times where if a bank literally just goes out of business, it can be sometimes hard. And you already paid your mortgage, but they didn't record it that you paid your mortgage, or they didn't do the satisfaction piece that they're supposed to give you. It can be interesting.
Oh, yeah.
It can be very interesting. But it typically 9 out of 10 times it works out fine.
Yeah.
But you get it from the current one. Is that what the question was?
Yeah, you get it from the current one.
Oh, okay.
Your current servicer, whoever has it, is the one you get it from.
Got it.
Okay.
Not that I'm gonna pay my loan soon, but I was just curious about that.
It goes off the loan number.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Oh, got it. That's true.
Yeah.
But yeah, there are some.
Question.
Yeah, because there's times where I've had situations where we went to sell a property and there's a lien that's still there and it's from core states. You know what I mean? And these are names from how long ago?
Hamilton Bank
or Meridian. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it can happen.
It can.
Yeah. Now, typically, your title company can do enough searching and digging that they can find it.
Well, the other thing too is home equity line of credit. Same thing.
Yeah.
When you close out a home equity line of credit, they're characteristic for not recording it for some reason. Make sure you get that satisfaction too.
Saying that's closed.
Same thing.
Absolutely, absolutely. So before we end here, I gave you some of these last time. Did you get a chance to try any of them?
Dude, they're great.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a great product.
It is a great product. And you know what? I got to tell you, I've been using this now for probably about 4 months. And we're pretty much, we take it pretty much every day.
Like he needs it.
Yeah, exactly. It is pretty amazing. It's called Magic Mind.
Yeah.
And you know what I like about it? I just feel like I can think a little bit better.
Yeah.
A little bit more open-minded about things and just have energy after I drink my coffee. I'm not like down in the dumps or whatever. So I just like it. What's really cool too, they're coming out with a nighttime one. That's supposed to, it doesn't have melatonin, it doesn't have any like weird stuff. It has basically all herbs, things like that. And I'm going to be trying that soon too. So they're going to send me, help you sleep. Yeah, it's a non-addictive. It's like it goes through all the different things that it doesn't have because there's so many times when there's a sleep type thing, it has things that are not good for you typically. Like chamomile's in it. We talked about lavender is in it.
Lavender's good.
And some of the stuff that's in this is in there too, actually.
I would like to try that.
Yeah, I just got some. Well, I ordered some, so I'm going to get some.
Another one of those from
you can definitely swipe another one from me. Yeah, I actually like these. They taste good.
They are good.
They are good. They taste really good.
It's a very pineapple-y kind of.
It is. That's a good way to explain it. Yeah. So if you're looking for any of the Magic Mind, just go to our Facebook page, our YouTube page, or our Instagram page. We got discounts in there that you can get on there if you want to try it. There's a new thing now. If you do the link that we have, you get 3 of them for free shipped to your house.
Nice.
Yeah, 3 for free shipped to your house. There you go, Hugo. 3 for each of your kids and your wife. I mean, come on, we can get you all set up.
Juiced.
Yeah, that's right. So with that being said, anything else you can think of real estate wise?
Did you want to talk multi-generation?
Absolutely, we got time. We got a little time. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, multi-generation, I'm so glad you sent that to me, Brad.
Yeah.
You said you wanted to just
talk about it
just for a minute.
Yeah.
It's real. And
now let's talk about when we say multi-generational.
Okay.
We know
what is that?
We know what we're talking about.
That's great.
Explain that a little bit.
Multiple generations within a family coming back together. It'd be the dad, the grandparents, and the kids, maybe, and there are maybe 2 or 3 generations of the same family living under the same roof.
Yeah. Is this because of inventory?
It's an inventory thing, and plus it's a healthcare thing.
Okay.
There's a couple of reasons why people are doing it, and it's just that they like spending time together. It's built-in babysitting, maybe for some. There's
a lot of other
reasons.
countries and cultures do this.
Always have.
Yes.
Always have done.
Why don't we?
I think we're getting back. We're getting to it.
I like that.
You know what? I have a small little personal Pete Heim stat on this.
Oh wow!
And up to 2019, I sold 1 multi-generational property.
Wow!
And that's from 1984 to 2019. And in 2019, I'd sold 7.
Whoa!
And I haven't seen how many I've done since then, but there's been several where people want to have a couple of chickens, a couple of acres. They want a couple of buildings on the property.
So you got to have a little bit of land then, obviously.
A little homesteading or a little gardening.
Yeah.
That seems to be the people that I'm finding.
Cool.
But there's other things, like I saw the article. You can put little, ADUs, which is an accessory dwelling unit, on the property and connect it to the house. So there's lots of things that you can do. Finish a basement.
Depends on the township.
It depends on the township.
Municipality.
You got to check all that.
And that's another place that I think the townships and municipalities can relax a little bit.
Yeah.
I think what they're worried about is that it becomes a rental. Because
eventually,
that's what I'm saying. So that's the one thing. But I know for a while, I know this for a fact. When I did Greth Homes and I did new construction, a lot of municipalities were very, very picky about if you were doing a second living in your basement.
Yeah,
and a lot of times it was for an in-law or somebody that just didn't need to be on their own anymore, couldn't be on their own. They were going to be in the walkout basement area.
Sure,
we were not allowed to put on the plans that it was a kitchenette. So what we would do is we'd end up not putting it as kitchenette. We'd put it as like a bar.
A bar. Yeah. With a stove.
Yeah, but no, we couldn't put the stove in. That changed everything.
Okay.
But we would do. But what was weird? Somehow a 220 line would end up in the bar for a stove.
Well.
For a future stove.
Right. Well, does a tap unit?
Yeah. I don't think you're using 220. But that's the thing we have to, you have to make sure you're okay to do it. But I think that's a place we could definitely go back to doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Because the cost of putting a parent or a loved one into an assisted living is astronomical.
Oh, yeah.
It could be $10,000 a month.
And that's what's going on, Brad.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be so much better for the generations to come together and take care of each other.
Yeah.
And spend that kind of freaking money. Now, no offense to the people who are doing that, because it's just, you will agree though with me, if you are doing that it's expensive.
It's very expensive.
And so most people can't afford it.
And another thing is, we don't have a lot of first floor living properties.
Right.
We don't.
If
you think about it, we just don't.
Do you know what the percentages of home styles in Berks County is?
I bet 2 stories is like 90%.
It's 80% colonials.
Unbelievable.
80%.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty cool. Right?
Yeah, that's
pretty
amazing.
Cool to know.
So,
but that's a shortage of ranchers and
oh my God,
other
yeah.
stuff.
Especially with an aging population.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So that's interesting. I want to keep watching that trend.
Let's watch it because I wish I should have. I did 7 that one year, but then there's been a couple since, but not that many.
Not that many.
No, but it's becoming more popular again.
Well, here's the thing: as inventory gets lesser and less, less and less. We have to be creative.
Yeah, we do.
That's right.
We have to be creative. We got to come up with something. So, people have to live somewhere.
Yeah.
So that's probably what's going to. Did you have another question, Hugo?
No. I was going to ask you if they were the Amish from the Amish, those 7 people that he just sold.
Hey, they got it down.
They do have it down.
They don't
pay taxes.
Yeah. I want to be Amish.
Yeah, so do I. Yeah, exactly.
They got it down, man.
Yeah,
if
they
the grid
do.
went out, I mean, they'd be fine.
The metal wheels got to go, though.
Yeah.
That's a little rough on your butt when you're driving. Can you imagine on metal wheels? Jeez, unbelievable.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. All right. Well, it went south, of course, it always
every
does.
time.
Yeah, every time. So we thank you for coming.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah,
Appreciate
and I'm
it,
looking forward to you being here on the 19th.
Yep, be here.
And
Yep.
we'll do that show, which will be a fun time. We're going to do a show actually before that too, like we always do.
Okay.
And we are here every Thursday at 7 p.m. whether you like it or not. And Pete's here once a month, whether you like that or not.
That's right.
That's about it. All right, there you go. So make sure you check us out on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, all the places that you can find social media. We are there. We're on Spotify. We're on Apple Tunes. We're on everything. So thanks for watching us again on 7 p.m. on a Thursday, and we will see you next week with some more